about the Patriots fit and why that would be good?
Sure. Let's talk about the Patriots before. Really appreciate it, Tony. Thank you for joining and watching. So let's talk about the Patriots, okay? Why should the Patriots sign Kenny Golladay? Well, one, for whatever reason, I never understood the reason. Maybe it's because Cam can get super high when he starts getting really tight and his shoulder goes way up when he throws it like that. He can start throwing the ball pretty high. And so the Carolina Panthers have always invested in 6'4", 6'5" receivers, Devin Funchess, Kelvin Benjamin. But yeah, joking aside, I think Kenny Golladay would be an incredible fit in New England. They need a true number one receiver. And N'Keal Harry looks like a guy who's lost all confidence. Julian Edelman, man, I mean, his toughness is special, but I've never seen a guy like his. They probably don't even have space to include the other players in the injury report because Julian Edelman's list of injuries is so long. He's been managing like ribs, back, shoulder, finger, arm, leg, ankle, hamstring, quad. Like he's managing every part of his body. So they need a true number one receiver. They have an awesome power run game, something we talked about with Grant. Like their offensive line, now they got Trent Brown. I think they let Joe Thuney walk, but they bring back David Andrews. They're big, mean. They're going to be able to run the ball. I think their defense, when you get Dante Hightower back, you get Patrick Chung back. Kyle Duggar looked pretty good in his rookie season. J.C. Jackson, even if they lose Stephon Gilmore, it's Jonathan Jones, Devin McCourty, Jason McCourty. It's still a really, really good secondary. Belichick is still really great. And you add that with Cam Newton's running ability, Cam Newton, all of that, and you bring Kenny Golladay, which is what the doctor ordered. Like, watch out for New England if they get Kenny Golladay.
I'm with you. And more on fit, right? So we've talked about their receivers a little bit. So their top two receivers, or top three, are Damiere Byrd, Jacoby Myers, and Edelman. Edelman can't stay healthy. I think he's 34 or 35. So that's already just a bad recipe right there. And Myers, that Gunnar, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Gunnar Olszewski. Is it Olszewski? Yeah.
Something like that. He's a good punt returner, but I wouldn't venture to say he's really the guy you need at receiver. So they need someone who can, A, make contested catches, B, actually get open and like create some separation because these other guys are just not the best. They're younger. And be reliable for Cam because as much as people harp on him, I think we've talked about a little bit, he was in a really bad situation. They don't have any good either. His arm isn't the best, and accuracy is kind of his like biggest issue. So having a guy with a catch radius can make contested catches and make plays. It would open up for the play action too, because you said their run game is set up to be huge with the NFL going smaller at linebacker. Damian Harris,
they're going to be mauling people.
Yeah. Damian Harris, Michelle, if they keep Burkhead, I don't know if they'll keep White, but they have big dudes that they can run behind. Devlin back.
And Trent Brown, yeah, he's more of a pass blocker, but for their scheme, he's not a bad run blocker. Like, he was a terrible fit for the Niners scheme because he doesn't get off the ball quickly and he doesn't block well in space. But the Patriots, while they do run zone, they do also run a lot of power gap scheme, which suits him more because it's a little more man-on-man blocking. And I think you brought it up with Cam Newton. Like, let me describe Cam Newton's offseason last season. If this was any other quarterback, we would have a different scenario. So let's take the name out of it. Coming off serious injury, 0 weapons, new offensive system, shortened offseason, got COVID-19, team got COVID-19, team had 8 opt-outs, and they still won, 8 games? 7 games?
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about here? Just because you see a couple clips on Twitter of Cam Newton missing badly, you think Cam Newton's a bad quarterback. Like, is that how you evaluate quarterback play? That's messed up to me. Like, Cam Newton's accuracy short has always been streaky. It's always been streaky. It's not something that he was amazing at his MVP season too. He had the one season with McCaffrey and Curtis Samuel where he was insanely accurate, but it's always been, sometimes it's insanely accurate. Sometimes he's just missing, but he's still a really good quarterback because he makes a ton of plays with his arm, still makes a ton of plays with his legs. I mean, he had 12 rushing touchdowns last year. Let that sink in. Cam Newton individually had 12 rushing touchdowns last year, and I think he only played 14 or 13 games. Yeah. That's almost a touchdown a game rushing. That's pretty special. So I think that people are sleeping on Cam Newton, and if they get Kenny Golladay, just watch out. Just watch out.
How good do you think they could be if they got him? I really think they can win 10 or 11 games this year.
11 to 12.
Now, here's the issue, though. Their division's really good. You have the Dolphins, you have the Bills. I don't think the Jets will be there yet, but they can surprise some teams. It's a divisional game. And the AFC, although it is pretty top-heavy, I mean, I guess their schedule shouldn't be too bad. Nice.
So here's what I'll say in regards to them versus the Bills. I mean, I saw that the Bills have interest in D'Amico Autry. That would be huge for the Bills to get. Starlo Tulale coming back would be huge for the Bills, but I think the Bills are going to have trouble with this run game next year, especially if you give them a legitimate threat outside in Kenny Golladay. I think the Bills will struggle to stop the Patriots run game, and the Patriots need to get bigger up front too. But if the Patriots do get bigger, like the Patriots match up well with the Bills in terms of the fact that they can't really stop the run. The Bills can't really run the ball. The Bills run game is their best runner is their quarterback, Josh Allen, which is a problem. So because of that, I actually think the Patriots match up really nicely with the Bills. So that's something to look for. The Dolphins are going to be really good. We'll see. And then, so I think, the 7 playoff seeds in the 17 games, watch out.
I think at minimum they're getting 10 wins this year.
I agree. I'm
not going to doubt Bill. You never doubt him.
Absolutely not. So